But for sure, what's up, man? Oh, Moody. Stupid man. Oh, okay. Oh, Moody. That's kind of funny. I wonder if they did call him Moody back then. People are people, you know. I mean, oh, Moody. So let's see. Yeah, you can. Okay. Have you told Moody's family that Elvis sang a song named after? I didn't know. I didn't know. It's like I get that. I'm like, hey, did you know? And then I lose the commission and every commission thereafter. No, they actually really like me a whole lot, which is good. It's always a good thing. I don't know where I would be without the man who gives me all these commissions. You'll hear me complain every once in a while, I guess, about the houses. I don't think you've ever seen it. What's up, QFX? What's up, man? Hey, have you have your character going? If you want to send me your battle tag, I'll help you level or something. If you're gonna play. But yeah, you haven't. I don't think, but for sure you've seen me doing the house paintings, and I don't like those, and so every once in a while I'll complain about them. But at the same time, I'm very grateful that I have them. Uh, I shouldn't complain about them. But I do. Uh, it's just they're not fun. It's not what I enjoy doing, but I am still at the same time grateful. They are a pain, though. I can tell you that. Tell you that much, man. Oh, you uninstalled it? What happened? You were disgusted. You're like, I can't take this. Which is totally understandable. You said, I'm never going to get on Lewis's level. Oh, man. Okay. I want to hear it. I actually want to hear it. I want to hear you rant. It gives me energy. It makes me feel like I don't need to rant. It makes me feel like I'm not crazy. and the Michael Harding, Michelangelo to Pope Julius relationship. It'll be able to do. He's not that bad. He's actually very good. Um, he doesn't rush me, and he pays me what it's worth. And you know what? I have, in fact, like on occasion, I've when I was done, I realized that it did not take as long, or it did not require the work that I originally thought. So I've cut the price before for him. Even after I'm done, I could have taken the price, and I do that because it's the right thing to do. But also, I think he appreciates it, and you get more work from it. So every once in a while, I'll do that. But most of the time, the pricing's pretty solid. Like, I mean, it most of the time I get the pricing correct. And that will happen if it's a project that sometimes you don't know what it's going to take. I mean, I'm sure you've had stuff like that in your own life, whatever. You don't know exactly how much work you're going to have to get done. You kind of estimate it. And sometimes you're afraid of giving an estimation because maybe it could be more, and what do you do? But yeah, I've actually cut prices with him before, and he would gladly pay those prices. But maybe I shouldn't. But you know, yeah. Yeah, QFX. I want to hear it. Okay. I want to hear it. I love negative. I love it. I like these rants. I want to hear it. Tell me. And don't think I'm going to try to convince you otherwise. I'm pretty honest with you about that stuff. I mean, I'm really angry at them over a lot of things. You should have heard me, especially in Shadowlands, all that stuff that went on. It was horrible. Let's try this. I'm actually going to just bring some red straight in here, and then I'm going to dilute it afterwards. This is going to look weird, but I'm going to actually work the red into the paint. There you go. So I'm going to lose the drawing a little bit here, but it's just a different technique that I'm using. Actually mixing on the canvas, but I'm doing it because the paint's already, it's already like placed in there pretty solid. And I have an idea of where I want this color anyway. Normally I don't recommend going in straight color here, but it's blending how I want into the paint right there. So, Arch World, people sleep in the office sometimes. Glad I don't do that anymore. Oh, in the art world. Yeah, Moody looks like he got way more sleep than I did last night. You didn't sleep that well? You just had to work, or? Yeah, you know what's funny with this type of art? I've never had to pull an all-nighter, and I understand that there's a lot of schools, they make you do that, whatever. But we never had to with this. Not at all. here. One of the small brushes today with this. Ooh, that's rough, man. Sorry about that. I debated streaming today, but I do want to. I was working on this a little bit by myself in here, uh, with the intention of starting to stream like after I got a little bit warmed up, because today I'm pretty worn out. But what I want to do is like I'm obviously detailing some of the things in the face, fixing proportions. I have to work on the nose. Is Zerk's doing better? He is. He's feeling better. He was like we didn't do arena last night. He was just too out of it. Um, but yeah, he's doing a little bit better. Uh, and but like so yeah, I'm gonna work on the face, and then I'm gonna get a wider shot with the camera, get the whole painting, and I'm gonna block in everything else here. And then I probably won't paint on it tomorrow, and I'll let it dry Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and come back Monday or Tuesday on it so it's nice and dry. That way I'm working everything up at once, and when I put the background in, it's going to change the way we see this, and I'll possibly work the, I don't know if I'm going to work the hair up right now, but also my client comes in to see it, so it's going to look better for him if I have everything down. So it should look pretty good, but I'm going to put a kind of a thin layer on it, just kind of build it up from there. My sob story about my dad passed a couple of years ago still bothers me, I guess. It sparked my interest to get back into art. Oh yeah, that's rough, man. That's rough. Now I take care of my dad, and I always dread the day when that happens. Um, did he pass normally, like natural, or was it some accident, or you know? And obviously, you don't need to answer if you don't want. I don't know. Sometimes it helps to get it off your chest. But yeah, oh gosh, it's like you get to that age and you start worrying about this stuff with your parents. It's awful. All right. So I'm going in with the smaller brushes here, with the nose. I need to look at the whole thing all at once. I can't make him Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm starting to really add some color in. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm going to also try to make this look, you can make it look like it's painted with large brushes with small brushes. And that's what I'm going to try to do is to still make it look like there's solid form and a brush stroke to it, but to get a little bit more control, I'm going with the smaller brushes, obviously, here. And I'm also looking into getting some permanent alizarin crimson for the shadows, just to deepen the reds and the shadows just a little bit to give it a kick. And also what I'm doing, I was really looking at like the structure of my nose and his nose. And this transition for me is always a little bit tricky. I'm going to try to give it a little bit more form than it has in the actual photograph. Catherine, what's up? All right. He passed suddenly, did radiation therapy only 3 days, rushed to the ER, got an infection. He didn't last. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That was you said 3 years ago, couple years ago. Hate that. I hate it. Yeah. It's not good. It's a little bit dark here. That's too dark. I know that's too dark. Come on here. Let's try that. If you all can see that. 2 years ago. Gotcha. Sorry to hear that, man. So with your work, you should do, because you're like getting into it, figure out, if you want, a direction where you want to go and find some artists that you can emulate, right? And then work on a practical level how to get to that point, right? And it doesn't need to be even up to a professional level or even that serious. It could, and your goal might just be to do it, which there's nothing wrong with that. Sucks that he had only had his 71st birthday a couple days before. Ooh, that's rough. So my dad started losing his mind essentially when he was 64, 65. And so by the time he was like 71, he wasn't making much sense. He's 79 now. But the way that I look at this stuff is like, they could have died in a car accident back in, like, you have time with them. That's a lot of time. So you look and you say, this is how I look at it. And I'm not saying you have to do this, but always take a negative and turn it into a positive. You had that time, and he could have been gone, when he was 40, 45, whatever, but you had that time with him. So that's a good thing. So that's how I look at that stuff, because otherwise it eats you up. It's too much, And it takes a lot of effort to look at it that way. It's obviously easier said than done, but it does take effort. It takes effort. You're going to die in a car accident with the way you drive or how other people drive around you. But yeah, like taking a negative and turning it into a positive, you got to do that, and it's not easy. It is rough, man. It is rough. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened. You know, that's never good. I'm sick of death. Tired of it. By the way, could you tell me more about who it is you're painting? I'm sure you mentioned it before, but okay, Catherine. So it's one of the ancestors of my client. His name's Peter Mood, but I don't know much more about it than that. I didn't really go and research it. I was more concerned with finding like a good picture, which this is the best I could find. So obviously I didn't. So that's it. But you could look him up and figure out more about him. Yeah. So this is my client's like great 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 grandfather or something, and my client himself is in his mid 80s. So this man, by my estimation, I've given this a lot of thought. I think he passed away, but I'm not quite sure. I don't think he's with us anymore. But don't quote me on that. Gotta remember the good. Yeah, exactly. That's how I look at it, because I could say, because it's too much. Like especially when they slowly are, like you can say, wasting away. I can look at this very negatively, but if I do, and I have before, it destroys you, and it incapacitates you from doing what you are actually capable of doing, right? The old goat is going to survive always in our hearts, beating like one. He's like the old World War I tank. He keeps moving. He keeps sticking. See, that's the thing. Like, I deal with things through humor because I think it takes these giant problems and kind of, when you can laugh at something, it brings it down here, and you know, that's how I handle things, and that's not something of saying, oh well, you're just not dealing with it. Shut up. That's not true. Deal with it, but you can laugh at things. You find the humor in things, and that's how I do it. And there's a lot of humor with him. If you know, haven't had him in much recently, but he's at home, and I'll have him in. Y'all will see him again in here. It's just so damn cold outside right now too. It's hard to get him out. Yeah, you find positives, turn them into negatives. Yeah, but and see, that's the thing. It's the easiest thing for. Look. Don't take this as I'm not preaching. But I do enjoy talking about this because this does relate to art, because this is how I continue with this type of art, is that it's human nature to be negative. It really is. It's the easiest thing to say, oh, like what you don't have, what other people have, you know, what bad happened to me today, and this, and I think it's a defense mechanism. I think that's why it's just very easy for us to do that, and to experience loss. Really, you don't want to experience loss, and it takes an effort to look at the things you have. But if the people who can look at the things they have and to look at everything as a blessing, and even if they only had it for a short period of time, like those people are very positive people, and they're much more fruitful and productive in life because of it. And it gives you more peace as well. And it's not shirking things off or ignoring them, not at all. It's a different way of looking at things. Interesting. Looking him up, significant silversmith in Charleston. He had two sons who continued in the silver business until about 1840. He has his own silversmith mark you can see on pieces. No way. That's really cool. Yeah. I mean, so my client he's trying to document his history, because obviously it's a rich history of what he has in his family. And so so, you know, I am, in a sense, helping him do that, right, through the artwork. Such a negative Nancy. But yeah, anyway, so like with painting, I remember like when I was training, I've said this, you know, Jess heard this before, like when I was painting, and it's very difficult, and when I was training at the Florence Academy, I wasn't as good as other people, and I would get down on myself, and I was always bashing myself, saying how bad I sucked, and then I was like, well, I shouldn't be doing this and that, and it was a very negative outlook, and you know, it was discouragement, and I had to go through that, and you know, after some time, I got over that, but one of the things that helped was, you know, just knowing that if I gave up, I wouldn't have been happy, number one, but number two, there was a lot of, I know I screwed that up just now, but whatever. There's a lot of things that I was improving on at the same time, and you see that over time. And so learning to, like, and I realized that I was learning because of the mistakes that I was making, right? So when you make a mistake, you get down and say, this sucks, this, that. But it's the mistakes that do make you better if you take them and you learn from them. And that's that mentality. So in life, my dad, when he was like going downhill, you know, it's like, I mean, I'm telling you, just like nightmares every night, like every night. And there was a lot of other stuff that was going on within the family, because the family acts a certain way. And it was like stacks of different nightmares, and that was reality. So and so like you go through all that stuff, and one of the things you go through is like you're losing your dad. You know, you miss him. You miss being able to have a conversation with him, and you can't. All these things. Then I started looking back. I was like, you know what? I've heard like one of my friends when they were, we were in the fifth grade or sixth grade or something. His dad got pneumonia and died, and his dad was like in his 40s. You know, and there's plenty of stories like that, like they're dying young, and or they left, or they cheated on, you know, like whatever. You know, there's a lot of things, and even that stuff is horrible, but you can always look at you know, there's always good in life that you can focus on beyond that. But so I started seeing that. I was like, you know, one guy I remember he was riding on a boat with his family, went under a bridge. He didn't see it. He hit his head on the back of the bridge and instantly killed him. Can you imagine that? I mean, and then your family saying, if only I had him sit down. Why did this happen? Why we didn't even, you know, I mean, it could have been, there's so many times. And so I could say, oh, well, my dad's missing out on like, you know, so much right now and this and that. But no, I mean, he's actually still around, and it's a blessing in that sense. You know, and your dad had 71 solid years of life, 71. And that's awesome. 71 years that's a good life. And I'm not saying don't be sad. You know what I'm saying, you know. Cuz I hear you, man. It's rough, and that's only natural, but I guess that's how I tend to look at things. And like I said, it's easier said than done. Cuz you always want the most time with, you know, your parents, and you want them to be healthy. Right? Except for Jeff, because he hates everybody. So that's how I look at things. Try to. It's hard. Very hard. Much older and more experienced. My brain's just extremely, yeah, the testosterone. No, testosterone's still running pretty strong right now. Right? Here, let me show you. Just kidding. Banned from YouTube. No, but I've been through that a whole lot with this. Like, just you have to have that mentality in situations. So, you know, I guess if you're losing sleep over it, um, try not to think about those negative things. Try to turn it into a positive and really let that wash over you, right? I don't know. If I was in your position, that's probably what I would be trying to do. But the problem is, I still have nightmares, and you can't always help that stuff, you know? So it's frustrating. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a joke. Only if you guys want it to be. What are you talking about? Stupid. Just throw around your paintings when it gets too bad. With the small brush up top. See, actually, no, I don't need the small brush for that, do I? Let's see something here. Intentionally keeping this very thin right now. Just fade it up a little bit. It's so 3D now, probably one of your most 3D look. Hey, thanks, man. So like, I was asking you those questions because I'm like, dude, the amount of mental preparation and trying to foresee impediments in my life to get to this point here has been tremendous. It's been insane. A toast to loved ones in Old Moody. Yes, a toast. You know, a toast. No, this one I'm really putting everything that I have so far into it, and I'm also taking notes of the things I need to improve upon quite a bit. This is a stepping stone, right? I mean, it's just like trying to tighten up some flaws that I have. Get rid of flaws that I have, rather. I'm trying to think of this. So like, yeah, the painting's looking okay on the screen. It looks, actually, I will say it looks a little bit better in real life than it does on both my phone and the computer. I'm trying to, I actually have the camera, look, it's up high right now. See that? It's up high looking down, and the face is this high. Okay, so the face is this high, and there's the camera. So there's going to be an angle, but I do that for the reflection. So see if even more than you move around it. Wait, you can probably see it even more when you move around it. Like, you mean like just like at different angles? Is that what you're saying? Anyway, come back to that. I'm going to work some of the drawing up in the hair a little bit. Just stuff up here. We go in, so this is the ivory black, and then we're going to go in with a little bit of the ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue, ivory black. I could probably, you know what, I might as well mix some of that, and then I'm going to come in. This has a little bit of cadmium red into it, mix some of that in. Maybe thin it out just a little bit with some walnut oil, just a touch, because I do want it thin. 3D effect, yeah. It's like coming off the board is what you're saying? Yeah. Just kind of even that out. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to just make this very thin. I'll build the layers up with it. I want it thicker in the lights. I really do want it to have that sculptural feel to it. Just thinly go up here. Just a little bit, and then I'll start working the drawing and making it look more unique up top. That's the idea behind it. Put this down here. Nice and thin. There we go. Soften this into it. Soften. So I'm thinking blend it, I'm thinking the drawing, but I'm also, like I said, I'm just trying to keep it like very, 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 very thin in the darks. It's almost dry brushing. Notice I haven't really been going back for a lot of paint. I'm really trying to even it out some. And you can get away with not doing this. This is just what I'm trying to do specifically for this. Really not using much paint. Okay. Mario, come stai, amico mio? Da Viterbo? Viterbo, right? Viterbo. I'm messing that up. One take home principle that I finally became convicted of is following your channel is what you often say. Pazienza, piano piano. Yes. You are Sei corretto, questa è una cosa che ho imparato nel tuo paese. I learned this in your country. Quando studiavo a Firenze è stato molto difficile. Ho sviluppato pazienza a me stesso per questo, perché questo è difficile. It's extremely, dipingere is very hard, very tough. You have to have patience. Piano piano. Tanti anni di studi. È così. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Bravo. Good. Fix that shit, you say. Fix that shit. Okay. All right. Let's get i pennelli. I miei amici pennelli. Yes. These brushes ancora sono da Italia. Ho comprato in Italia, a Firenze, a Zecchi's Art Supply Shop. Sì. It's not, grazie. It's not great Italian. Parlavo meglio una volta. Un giorno ho parlato questa lingua più bella che posso parlare adesso, ma quel giorno è passato. Ma forse un giorno parlerò meglio ancora. Apparently that's my godfather. I don't know what that is. So one day maybe I'll speak, but I used to speak good one day, or many years ago. Tanti anni fa parlavo meglio. Ma ora no. Perché non sono italiani qua dove abito. In questa città si chiama Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Buongiorno. Okay, that is going to be cooler right there, I think. Maybe. No, I'm not going to make that cooler. I'm going to make it warm. Let's make it warmer. I don't like that. You know why? I should have gotten... I got quinacridone rose, not red. And so it's all pink. Just like Jeff's favorite color. Just like what the underwear Jeff is probably wearing right now, pink. The Florence boys are so snobby. No, that's the French. Ilokim was not here, so I'm going to talk trash behind his back. Actually, I'd talk to his face, too. The French are the ones who are snobby. The Italians... Let me try something else. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the nose, which was go in with some solid red. Let's see. I just need to build that red up just a little bit here. This is a little awkward, but I'll get it. I want you to take note of how many times I have reworked this piece right here. So just take heart when you're having a very hard time getting something. Okay. Does that look good? No, it doesn't, but it will. I've done this before. Multiple times in my life, though, you can't tell. I've been here before, multiple times. Mario, dipingere, si deve diventare il pennello nella mente. You have to become the brush. Mario, Mario mio, dipingiamo con l'anima. Every Italian watching right now is like, that guy's an idiot. Everyone acting like they're a descendant of Michelangelo. What are you talking about? Talking about, oh, the Italians? Is that what you're saying? Why'd I do that? And then... yes, thank you. Let's get... All right, okay, here's the process with me. I'm trying to get a certain effect, and I overwork it. It's too smoothed out. It looks awkward. The color's wrong, but eventually I get the color right, and it's too smoothed out. So then what I do, I go and put the brush stroke on over it. But it's a buildup. That's what normally happens with me. Now, the more you paint, the more you're able to speed that process up, right? And speed that process up a little bit. So that's what I'm working on it. But this is how it looks, man. Okay, so this here, I'm not sure y'all can tell. I've said this before. I'm trying to keep it thin as it goes into here. So here I'm pressing and raking the paint more and trying to keep it, and it's keeping it clean too. So it's not gonna cake up and become very overworked. All right. At least it shouldn't. So here, that's why you see me going over it some, and I'm actually trying to rake Southern paint up and also shape this at the same time, right? And so now I'm keeping it soft and like keeping it thin and going back into the darks so that it recedes. I'm not going to do that as much here. If you see me going over here, I'm still keeping the paint on it, but I'm trying to shape the paint how I want. So that's why you'll see me going over it. Ideally, you just put the stroke down, that's it. But you can still make the effect where it looks like you just put the stroke down, even when you worked it in some, right? Bring this over this way. Thanks, man, I appreciate that. And we'll get it. I just, this is very good practice. This is very good practice. And again, I mean, we're not going off of a good reference here. All right, this might be a little bit too light, but I'm going to kind of work it in. And so I'm pulling the paint up, and I am intentionally keeping it a little bit more grayed out here. Switch it here. Put more of a sharp edge there, and then I'll shape that. I just need the paint to go over some to the right. Press it in, pull, and then I'm going to soften that edge. I'll go over that piece a little bit. Keep on working that. Drawing is not correct here. And, you know, I'm not trying to go, notice I'm not going in and putting all this like itty bitty detail in yet. Not yet, but I will once we get the major pieces down. So let me bring this over some. That's it right there. Soften. Whoops. How's Brian's lesson? He did a good job. He did good. He did good. He just needs to work more. I wonder what old Moody would look like with Elvis type of color. You want to find out? I'm not going to do it. I could, but I'm not. I'm not going to. It comes over. And kind of squint down and keep a brush stroke there. See how that looks. Looks pretty cool. All right, so that's looking a little bit better drawing-wise. I just need to now, one of the things is making that turn up into the hair without making it look too smoothed over and such. That buff guy, one of the buff guys, but he's drawing also a nude of a woman standing that he got off of Pornhub. Just kidding, he got it off of Croquis Cafe, and he's doing a good job. It's a charcoal drawing, so we're working with value range, trying to get the value range, the light impression, all that fun stuff, and proportions, obviously. It's the same thing except without color, right? And I told him to be doing some figure drawings, which I know he's not going to do. I told him 50 times he never does it, but he'll be at the class tonight, so I guess that counts for something. Yeah, this brush is here. So what we're going to do is take some of this here, a little bit lighter. I'm going to come up and work some of the hair in just a little bit. Just work the hair. Bring this down some. I'm doing a combination of pulling the old paint. That's not really working. Shit. Okay, that's okay. Oh, I messed that up. Whatever. So we kind of have there, and then just soften this just a little bit. Something like that. Beauty is, see, I'm just trying to go for the impression right now, right? That's what we're going for, is the impression. Shape this a little bit, and then there's going to be a little bit more here. Notice I haven't really gone back to the palette. I'm going to soften that piece some, bring that in, and then I can cut in with the dark here, and then I'm going to, there's a little bit here. Flip the brush where I know there's more paint on it, and then something like that. So now it's starting to, you know, gives it that three-dimensionality we want. A little bit more here too. There. That comes out, and then it bumps in right there. Okay, so let's start shaping that piece a little bit. We'll shape. We're working all around. That's what we're doing. At least he's taking the extra lessons on Wednesday, right? That's already 2 days. Yeah, exactly. And he is working. It's just he got out of the practice because of Christmas and just stuff he had to do. He went on a skiing trip, which was good. He needed to get out. So, do you have a special brush for doing hair? No, I don't. I probably should, but I use the hog hair, and I can turn these on the side. It makes a nice effect as well. You can, you know, you can use them at different angles, but I don't have like one of those fine pieces where they're doing each hair strand and stuff. I don't do that. that's something I would need to practice. I'm always impressed when I see people doing that, even though it's not my style of working, because I feel like, but it's good to know how to do. It's very meticulous work, requires a lot of control. Is that too, yeah, that's a little bit too light. Maybe darken it some. Should be around here. Because Oliver Moody is not only a member of Hair Club for Men. I wonder if they had anything like that back in the day. Did you need a license to drive a carriage? I wonder. Who knows? Okay, let's work this piece here. This is what I'm lacking. So you have the cheekbone and then it kind of cuts in like that, but then that piece, let's get darkest dark brush. Oh, Moody. So that should be here. And then it kind of goes around the cheekbone here. I know this is going to be a little bit dark. I'll bring the light up some. I need to fix this angle. Goes in some like that. One, and then it comes down there, and then does. This actually might come in just a little bit. I'm gonna actually bring that out just a little. There, there. And then this part might come in just a little bit. And then that might come in some there. Check, watch this. It's gonna be really split. Split. Boom! This will be fun. Oh yeah. Start putting this on. Shaping this. Bring that in. Just a little bit. It comes up. Comes in. Yeah. That. And then that's going to be darker there. So I'll just do this. Isn't that beautiful? We'll make it make sense, don't worry. Everybody relax. Don't panic. I bet they had to prove their horsemanship somehow. I wonder if they did. I don't know. Here. Keep it thin. Jonas, what's up? What are you doing, man? Just keep it nice and thin. Wait, y'all can't see what I'm doing, dang it! Let me, here, I'll move it down just a little. I'm not going to, I'll just move it down just a tad. Just a little bit. Let's see, I can do that. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. I wasn't really working that much. I'm trying to get just the basic pieces in here. So what I'm going to do in a second, let's see, it's 3:42. I still have some time to paint, but at the very end, I'm going to block in all the rest, right, of this. And so I'll do more of a full shot, and so y'all can see the whole thing kind of develop, or sviluppa, as the Italians say. Sviluppa, yes. Yes, yes. Mullet Baby is always watching. The Mullet Baby. Fine, and you? I'm doing great. Absolutely great. I'm also painting a portrait of Johnny Depp. Nice. All right, good. Post it if you can. I would love to see it and judge it harshly. Two effects. What do you say? Such a confident stroke. So stupid. All right. Going in with the Rublev. Rublev. Let me do it. See that? Fine. All right, all right. Working it. It's gonna be good. I won't go past, like, normally I'd go down and start working this right now, but I'm too lazy to move the camera, so I'm just gonna go back up here. All right, what do we have to do? Ninth gate is also, ninth gate, what is that? Just watch Sleepy Hollow and Want to Watch from Hell Next. Johnny Depp did some goodies. Ninth gate, it must be a movie. This is not well done. Let's go back up there. Actually, yes, no, let's go up. Let's go up there. Let's do this. I'm gonna move this a little bit. I'll change the camera up. Give me a second. There's too much reflection and I can't see what I'm doing up top on the forehead. Is that, dang it, I gotta move that camera too? Dang it. I'll just leave the camera there for now, I guess. I just need to work this up top. Now I can see it. Okay, I couldn't see it. It was like all the reflection because the brush strokes were blinding me. Yeah, I like Johnny Depp. He's awesome. What's that? Okay, I'm gonna go here, right? Something like that. Something like that. Oh, Johnny. Okay, y'all can still see. Oh, Johnny. Up like that. Massage it in slowly. Nope. I want this. This is what I want right here. I guarantee you this is what I want. This is much better, yes. There. Good. Good. Let's move this. And then this. Okay. This. Here. Soften. Soften, soften, soften. Okay. Now, you go in with this brush. Here. Let's try that. Dang it. No, that's not it. Let's go back in with this. This was down here. So go like that. Feels better anyway, this. Why is that not working? It comes in. Is it because, okay, oh, I see what's happening. That's soft. Kind of messed that up. Did I? The problem I'm having is that this light is causing reflection going across those brush strokes, and they need to be going that way, so I'll figure it out. I always do. G-First, represent. Ah, yes. Crockett, what's up? 4 days for the week painting. Someone's in need of cash after a fat Christmas. I just want to get this done. General question. So I also pumped myself up for this one. 1200 Pump Lord. General question. So if we paint a famous person, can we sell it? I figured nope. I would think so. I never thought about that. Yeah, I never thought about that. Do people, people copyright their image, I guess? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. darker. Let's warm it up right there. Spin it. I don't think you can without permission. Spin it all on level boost to 80 for $60 per alt. Wait a second. You're joking. That's a joke. That has to be a joke. You uninstalled. Yeah, because I don't think you can do that. You're joking. When can we expect an amazing portrait painting of the amazing Louis Guidetti? Jav. I'll do that. I wanna paint my dad, but I have this commotion. Apparently that's commotion. And I have another commotion after this, a portrait commotion. I think. No, I'm in the process. I have that commission, I have this commission, and then I have one more portrait commission, and then I have I think one or two more. I have some paintings I have to get done. So maybe I work one in between. It would be nice to do a self-portrait that would go after you if they had any sense. Oh, me? Oh, yeah. Oh, the 80 boosts. Yeah. Let's do this right here. There. There we go. All those 80 boosts. And I'm going to pull this paint down some that way. There you go. And then this piece that kind of comes in. That's going to come in just a little bit too there. Okay, so. Wait, no, that's not going to come in. That's not going to come in. That's going to come. This doesn't come in because I'm falling into the trap of working the same perspective there, which I've been very careful not to do. I'm going to bring this back out some. I started to fall into that trap again, but we're going to bring that back out. This does make a difference. And then we're going to soften this. Work this edge into that whatever it's called, the shirt at the bottom. And let's go in again, the white. By the way, I'm listening to Sith meditation music right now. That's how I get this thing going. Switching ears so I don't get deaf in one. I pop some stumpers I pop some stumpers every now and then. What is the theory of relativity multiplied by the square root of infinity? 2. I like the portrait and the colors. Thank you, Jonas. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, we just keep on working it. There. We just keep on working it. Black. Wait a second, y'all can't see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do it really quick. Do it right here. You got one free boost to 70. Why did you uninstall? I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I need to be entertained. Have you ever had to tell anyone stop doing art, go find another job? Just curious. I say that to myself every morning while I'm staring in the mirror. It's a very good question. All right, I might go back up. No, I'm going to catch the ear up. That's what I said. I was driving. I was like, I have to catch that ear up. And literally, I was driving. I think about this stuff I don't think about when I'm painting. Right. Don't be an idiot. It's not that hard. Just don't be an idiot. Comes up. It comes up some. Actually, this is correct. This just needs to come up a little bit. Darken. Multiple reasons, but even if those weren't a thing, you guys play when it's 3 a.m. for me, so yeah, I can see that. I was about to say, I say that to myself too. What are you doing? I've never had to tell somebody to not do art. I mean, now I might think that about some people, and it's not because they don't have the talent, but it's because their attitudes are just so bad. But it's very rare, and I'm not gonna like, I've never been in the position where it's been up to me to tell them that. Everybody has their thoughts on stuff, like this guy's wasting his time. That mentality. Or one thing is, because I do this all the time. I pick myself apart, and I need to for this, because otherwise it's very easy to think that you're better than you are, and it's because it hurts to see your mistakes, or it hurts to see how better people are than you. But if you're honest with yourself, you're going to go further, and you have to be. So it's the people who, I guess, aren't honest. They think they know everything, and they're not going to go anywhere because of it. And it sucks. I hate seeing it, actually. Because, I mean, I would say the only people they fool is themselves, but there's a lot of people who, in the art world, who are questionable. Okay. Um, yeah, they're in the main city right now, which is Dornigal. Oh, whoops. It's probably where I got a jump on some people coming from the architecture world. I've been insulted, laughed at, beaten up, metaphorically. So I'm so mellowed. If you're doing hardcore on classic, um, there are a lot of people doing hardcore, but no, I mean it's actually so you have like shared realms. It's called sharding. It does sound like sharting. I was also in the military. Was stationed in submarine for 5. So you have resilience. That's good. It's like all tools, right, assist you in this. That's one of the points I try to get across. Is like when you go through something hard in your life, it actually helps you in your painting. It does. It helps your painting. It's pretty cool, actually. It's a good deal. That's how I look at it. Only the juicers left for the arena. Exactly. Could be you. It should be you. You should be playing the 3 a.m. thing. Okay, so what it's over in Europe right now. It's let's see, 4 o'clock. Y'all are about. You're I think 6. No, you're 7 hours ahead of me. I think it is. Wait a second. What time is it over there right now? QFX. It is in Germany. It's probably 11 o'clock right now. Is it? It's or rather 2300. Is it 23 right now? 11 o'clock, 2300 hours. I think it is. 10. Okay, 10. So you're 6. Okay, it's 22. Yeah, yeah, and then so normally I play so 6 hours ahead. Yeah, so I started playing last night at 10:30 and went to bed. I was in bed by 12 or 10:45. Probably was later. 10:30. So that would have been 4:30 your time. But on the weekends, we're talking about Saturday. I'm on at 1 o'clock, and so it would be 7 o'clock your time. 7 8 on the weekends, and you'd have 3 4 hours to play probably. So that's still a lot, and oftentimes I don't get to play with my friends during the week anyway. Um, you're a few cappuccinos ahead of my time zone, Midwest. Ah, yes. So you're in the so it's probably 3 o'clock, 3:05 for you right now, right? But for chair, bro, boots up arena 1 hour before bed. We didn't do arena last night. Uh, we we didn't do arena last night, and normally we do. We have a rule that we get on, we play 5 games, but Xerx was just not good. So, but yeah. Anyway, so and in fact, that's one of the reasons why I said Xerx. It is because by the time we were doing other things, and by the time it was, like we were saying we should play, it was like 11:30, and I was like, we can't. Like, it's not worth it right now. And he agreed. He was like, yeah, this is stupid. 3 p.m. Gotcha. So I mean, bring that in some. This is there. This I'm going to drop just a little bit. If this, that would be about there. There, and then that sweeps up. Okay. Just do the anatomy, in an ear. That's what I'm going to do, because this, I can't go off this right now. Also, I killed Nomadic on his Horde Warlock. You did? Can't expect much. Wait. Coquette's this Toxic Fudgy, and I did some World PvP like Justice 3 to go after the bounties. It was fun. Can't expect much last hour of the day, and only the juicers left to push. Also killed him, but Dark Pact goes down, and it's on. Oh yeah, Dark Pact's up like, I think it's like 30 or 40-second cooldown. It's stupid though. It's always up. It is very hard to play that late. That's one of the things that we're struggling with. But both Cirques and I have busy schedules, and so like we either play at night, and the problem is in the weekends when we are fresh is when all the top-rated players are playing. So it's actually easier on the week somehow. Let's bring this out just a little bit again. Bring that out. It's coming down like that. Okay. And then that is grayed out on the side. Can y'all see that? That's grayed out. And so I'm going to come in and just add some color into there. Try to keep that value. I'm going to bring the value up and put a little red in there. And that should make it so it turns a little bit more, but I generalize the cheek. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Soften. Kind of lost the form a little bit. Bring this out. I'll take this one again. 410. I need to start looking to the whole piece in a second. That's not right. That's not correct. This is not correct. This needs to come in. I don't know why I brought it back out because I'm an idiot. Being stupid. Oh my gosh. That's okay. We'll get it. There. And then it comes in. It was right before I messed it up. That's okay. Sounds like a hit song. It's 3 p.m. somewhere, so it's so stupid. It is stupid, very much so. But here's a little piece that pissed me off. I paid for this mount on Europe, and I don't get access to it on the US in the same account. Yeah, that is frustrating, man. I mean, I can understand that. It's frustrating. That stuff does frustrate me too when that happens. Comes down. Try that there. Oh, didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. I'm just gonna leave the ear like that for now. And let me just put in a transition really quick. And then we're gonna go and paint everything else all around. Put this one back in. You don't get anything basically, and then not even the stuff you paid for. That shit rubbed me the wrong way. Did you put a support ticket in for it? Just leave that there for now. I'm just gonna leave that. I'll work that transitional edge later. Let me switch this, and I'm going to paint everything else in all around. Because you should get that. I know it's like, you should. It should translate some of that stuff over. Moody's painting is going to look so realistic. His descendants probably want to start talking to the old Moody. Yes, Graham, I ate my broccoli. I'm stupid. All right, give me a second. We're going to start shifting things around some, guys. Give me a second here. We'll get the main camera back. I got to switch lens here. Lenses or lens or whatever. There we go. That, and then let's back a little bit. A second. Something like that. Wait, is that right there? That's it. Okay. Unknown. There we go. I think I got it. That looks pretty good. And then this. There we go. All right. That's what we got so far. Yes, that's okay. Okay. And then, so I want to fill in all this, all the background, and get this in, block this in. That's the goal. I should have plenty of time to do that. We do that. This is going to be in a very good position. That won't do anything. I Googled it, and they make a clear split between US and Europe with purchases. They don't even have access to the other sites' data for all I know. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. It's frustrating. That is frustrating. Yeah. I get frustrated with Blizzard too, over numerous things. So I mean, I totally get it. And you know, if you're not going to be able to, I mean, on the weekend you would be able to play with us, but that's it. And you know, and the thing is, on the week, Zerks and I, we used to play more. Right now, both of us are very busy, and we'll get back into it more again, I'm sure. But and we still play, but we don't have a lot of time every single day. Like there's several nights during the week. Oftentimes, like we'll go several days without playing or something. It's not, we don't do this all the time. Ideally, we're doing it every night, and sometimes we make that. But yeah, like we're trying to get just arenas in. But if we do arena, we have that 5 rule. We get 5 in, and then maybe if Gun Club or somebody wants to play, we play 3s for, you know, like a little bit. But we're not like playing all the time, and you wouldn't be able to play on the weekend, or you would be able to play on the weekend. That's it. Which that would be plenty of time. So I guess if we're just like hatching this out, if it's worth, if it's something you really want to do, or you want to play, and we can play on the weekends, you know, there's value right there. That's good. But you know that Blizzard's going to piss you off with stuff, you know, with those things that rubs you the wrong way. Like, that's totally viable. So it just depends on if you want what's more important, you know, that or you wanting to play for the time you can, you know. And so I guess that's the decision. I mean, I'm not pushing you one way or the other. I get it. They especially the stuff they did with Overwatch really rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, let me see this. See my palette here. Okay. Background. I'm gonna actually block the coat in, and we're gonna use a lot of paint for this. Block the coat in. There's some white in there. That's why I'm trying to go around it. This is ultramarine blue and yellow, or I'm sorry, ivory black. Take this. We're gonna mix our colors first. This is blue with some white in it. Take that off. And because the way I look at it, I don't like the store they put in. I don't like the store they put in. It's not good. I don't like, not for a game you pay a subscription for. There's a lot of things I don't like. Also, for me, it's like I do PvP, but they didn't like add any new content for several expansions, and it's like I'm paying for a monthly sub, but they're not giving anything else. But it's fun playing the game, right? And they do update the classes, so there's that. But they are making the game better now. But before they even said they were just managing a decline because they didn't think the game would last. And in my opinion, if like whoever was promoting that within the company should have been fired. Like, that's why they weren't acting off feedback. That's why, whatever. I mean, so yeah, I mean, like I get extremely angry with them. Oh, and there's a problem right now with cheating going on in the game in PvP that they know about. They're not fixing. And they're silencing the people who are saying anything. It's frustrating. The whole game has turned into such a money machine. It's nuts. Sub here, buy that here. Yeah. Want your last bag slot? Get unauthenticator and basically give us access to all your. So, but for me, I have my friends playing. I love playing Arena. I love it, and I have a blast with it. So for me, it is worth it. And they can put these items on the shop all day long, but it's nothing that's going to make you, first off, it's not pay to win. And I'm not justifying this. I'm saying I simply don't buy those items. Stay away. And plus, they have what's called the trading post now, which is like a lot of items where like every month there are new items and like cosmetics and transmog sets. And so the thing is they're actually improving the game quite a bit. But the shop is something I don't like, but I never buy anything. And most of my friends really don't either. So, for me, it doesn't affect me that much. And there's the PvP aspect of it, which I love. So that's why I play. It's not, there's no other reason besides that. Okay, I'm just going to go in with some black here. We're just going to keep this very simple because here's the thing. I'm going to put this on very, very thin and layer this up as I go. That's what I want to do with it. Okay? So put this thin so it's nice and thin and transparent. And then I'm going to get the background the correct darkness as compared to this right here. So I'm just going to scale it off the background essentially. or off the robes. But yeah, QFX, I mean, I get you. I get it. You are tormented. You want to play with us, but there's time zone. Really, for me, to be honest with you, like, here's my 2 cents for you. What makes sense the most, the reasons why you should not play, is because if you want to play with us, you can only play during the weekends. Okay, that's it. Right there. That's it. Because I can tell that you really like the game, and when you're playing, you would actually have a good time. And I think, as much as it sucks and it rubs you the wrong way, if you enjoy something and you were really having a good time with it, then forget the mounts and all that stuff, and you can still have fun with an account. Just pay the subscription fee and play with us. But the fact that the time zone is different, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. Guys, I'm going to paint this down here. Okay, you're not going to see about that much, but it's just going to be black, so just stick with me here, because I don't want to like move the camera just so y'all can see me painting, at the very bottom. But I'll try to get it done as quickly as I can here. It'll be good. Yeah, whatever. The whole want to actually sub, get the 12 months for 10% off, because you're going to save so much money, and they know exactly the average player wouldn't pay for years, so they ain't saving shit. Will you add highlights to the hair? Yes, Shakuri. So the way that I have built this up, everything that I'm painting, especially in the beginning, is setting the table for later on, right? I'm building up to those points. So yes, there's going to be more highlights in the hair and such, and that's going to be tricky because I can't see what the hell is going on up there. I'm going to have to, I might even have to get another reference of some sort for it. It depends. But the good part is even if I mess up, it's very easy to reblock that in. Because I'm keeping it very thin. That's why I'm keeping everything thin. This I'm keeping thin right here too, because I'm going to layer it up. And I want it to kind of like have that very smooth build up to it, right? So, QFX, dude, I hear you with that. I agree. I agree with you. I agree. I don't like those practices either. But and that's the thing. Here's what I don't like about that. The year is that it locks you in, and if they see that they have a lot of people locked in, to me, that's like them saying, okay, now we can kind of just slack because we're good, we're going to meet our quota and this and that, because that's how I think they think about things now. I don't like that. So I'm with you on that. I had like one of our friends actually unsubbed because of something one of the developers had said in regards to the cheating. And it really pissed me off too a whole lot. And it would be something that I would unsub over. But I know that I'm going to be like, I'm playing with my friends with Zerks and stuff. So it's not worth me stopping right now, But that's for me. That's like, it's not that big of a deal for me to quit over. Not yet. I have quit. We have quit before. We quit actually in Shadowlands for various reasons. They lost a lot of players then. That's when they started changing, right? But I will say they are trying. They are doing a better job with it. And here's another way of looking at it too. It is the company itself is just awful, but the developers, they don't have control over that money. They're not the ones who are saying, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And I think they're under a lot of pressure, and they're doing a very good job considering too. So there's a lot of heart at that company right now, more so than I think there was before. He has that military bearing. Yeah, he perhaps. Who knows, man? He was living in a time when you had to be tough. They didn't have Netflix or iPhones. They didn't have TikTok, neither do we now, apparently. They didn't have social media. They sent pigeons to deliver messages. They didn't even have shoes. They walked everywhere barefoot on glass. I'll just get black on my black shirt. I don't care. Don't care. Here we go. Okay. Nice. Okay, now. Oh, now let's do this. Let's get a slightly larger brush. We'll get this. This will work. And let's work that collar some. Do this here. Take some of the flesh tones. And this, a little bit of that. There you go. Look at this. Watch this. Ballpark it. And then this payment for the skipping the leveling, the way this works is they create a problem and you pay for the solution. So they think their whole leveling process to 80 is inconvenience that needs a solution for $60. That's a very good point. That is an extremely good point, I think. I really do believe that. It's very well articulated too. That's what they're doing, man. This kind of comes out just a little bit, and then it goes in, and then you have that. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Why should someone play when the whole game is an inconvenience? I mean, they shouldn't. If that's how you see it, if it's not worth it for you, then don't do it. Definitely not. You know. I definitely would not play anything like that if that's how it is. See, for me, yeah, the leveling and the in my opinion, what they should do is if you if you haven't okay, I would make it so that you can skip and just get to 80. If you're still going to play the game, just put the skip process in. If they really don't want to do that for whatever reason, especially if you're a new player or whatever it is, if they want to say you're a new player, then once you hit level 80 with a fresh tune, with a new tune, then that opens up the ability to just like make an 80 off the bat. That's what I would do, because why not, right? So I mean, I'm with you there. I'm with you. The way that I look at, again, the way that I'm looking at it is if you want to play, and it's worth it for you, then you play. And if not, then it's not going to be worth it, right? Like your goal is for you is to be arena ready. And they've sped up the leveling process a lot. So I would help you out. I would help you level. How? I would get on my healer and we would do time walking dungeons and I would just level you up. Another thing I could do is just make a twink, a level 11 and just tank everything and run you through it really fast. That's another way of doing it. But like in your mind, and you're probably correct in this, like if you can't, if what you see is what you just said, you know, then you have to weigh how much that pisses you off by how much you want to arena, because it'll be worth it. All you need is just one warrior. You get that warrior up, play the game. You know, $15 a month over time adds up. I look at it like, for recreation, that's not that much for me for how much I play. So I've weighed the downs, the pros and the cons, right? But all these things, right? I mean, you know, it's like, yeah, it's frustrating. It's very, this stuff is frustrating. A lot of it, it frustrates me, a lot of it. It really does. You know, it's like, why not? Why not? You know, but you know, they're getting better with what they're doing. It's not about me not wanting to level. It's about how they monetize the game now. Yeah, man, I know, but you know, I think like I get you on that, but if you really like it, I would just play. If it's something you enjoy doing it, just play. Just do it. You can quit whenever you want, you know. All those AAA companies are like this. All of them are. And that doesn't make it right. And to be honest with you, AAA used to stand for something different than it does now. All right, so this right here, Shikari, I want you to, this is what I'm talking about. So like when I'm working this, I could go through, and I probably should, but I could go through and like work it much more. But right now what I'm doing, I'm softening the edges, trying to get the drawing basic. I'm going to soften some of this stuff in here so that the next time that I go in, I can work it a little bit better, because it's easier to go from soft to sharp, right? Make a sharp edge. This is basic. This is very basic, and this is something I can work with right here, right? So this is how I go about working this up, right? You know, this here, like, you know what? I'm going to take this out and come in with some like really cool color, very, very light, because I want this very thin. And we're just going to almost dry brush and soften at the same time. Okay. I am thinking about how I want this, like I'm thinking to myself, how is it going to be best to work on next time I come in? Like this right here. Because this is still very thin, but like it has the basic impression. And it's very soft in areas, so I can like accent it and all sorts of stuff like this. This right here, it's that little piece here. So I'm just going to squint down. We're getting the impression. That's why drawing is so important. Bring that in. Is it going to be perfect right now? No. But it's okay. Bring some of this down like that. Move that in. See? So the impression's there. The impression's there. You squint down, it kind of works. It's okay. Right? Come in with the brush here. Try to sculpt this in a little bit. Soften. Soften this. I'm going to soften that part and then kind of bring this out some. There we go. And then soften. Work it in a little bit. Just lightly working it in. So that's something we can work on right there. Yeah, and the reason why you do that is because it's scary when you're in uncharted territory. If you're always trying to get, you're like, I'm trying to make it look like it, and if it's not looking like that right away, then you get scared. That's why the basics. That's why bark drawing teaches you the basic lines. Don't go and develop it. Get the left, the widths, the heights, the angles correct. Work on those fundamentals. Get that, and then slowly keep on breaking them down while looking at the large shape. That's what we're doing here, right? So you're slowly working it up. They're just trying to milk the player base as hard as possible. Yeah. I'll play chess with you for a low price of $10. First month is free. Grant, thank you, man. I appreciate it. This is going to be a good painting, and we're going to get, I'm going to put this background in, and then it's really going to pop. Wait, okay. I put the background in, and I covered this up, and then this is going to, without touching this, is going to look even better. This, like, everything plays off everything else in this. So, come to think of it, looks like old Moody is peeling into the women's life. Stupid, man. All right, now, go in. I could probably use that brush. In fact, I am. I'm going to use this brush so I don't have to clean two brushes. This is my dark brush, but let's, okay. So this is my black. Y'all can't really see, but this is black. This is not black. This is, so this was for the coat. This is a little bit lighter, but it just has black and red. This is black, red, and yellow. I'm going to combine these two. Actually take some of the black right here. This is easy to mix. Probably all of this. And then let's put some orange, which is essentially red and yellow, into it. Lighten it up some, and then I'm going to take some red here. There we go. So I lightened this with just color, just yellow and red, essentially. And let's do this and see how this looks. Something like that. And I'm just going to lightly brush this on too. All right, let's see. Okay, I think I can do this because I'm going to put this on very light. And here's the thing, I can always, let me add a little bit more color to that. I can always, obviously I can make it lighter if I want down the road. So the way to look at painting, set it up, right, for the next painting session. Always think about what's going to be good to paint on top of. Try to control the paint, and at first keep it thin, controlled. Don't throw the paint down, unless that's what you're going for. But in this case, just keep it controlled, keep it thin. And understand that you can correct it, that you can fix it. You can push the light, or you can take the light away. You know, You can, there's a lot that you can do with this. That will give you the flexibility, but you just take your time and paint slower than you think, and you're actually going to go quicker because you'll be observing more and making less mistakes because of it. You'll learn more too if you go slower, I think. Oh, TrueFX. Dude, I'm just trying to let you get this off your chest because dude, I know how you feel. That's way better. That's what I want right there. Okay. Y'all can tell that. Maybe a little bit. I'm just going in straight with pigment right here. I'm just keeping it very thin, so probably be able to see through just a little bit. Take some of the black, and I make it kind of fade. I don't want that. But fade down just a little bit. Just have a little bit of fade down here. So this is going to be a little bit darker down around here. So now I have to start thinking about the drawing. Edge. I'm going to keep this soft. Just soften that quite a bit. There we go. There it is. See, already you can tell this is going to make that pop more. I get some quality paint spatulas. I wonder if there's really a quality difference in paint spatulas. I don't know. It's a good question. Are you talking about palette knives? What are you talking about? Paint spatulas. Is that something I don't know? Paint spatula. Very, very, very light and thin here. Blur that edge just a little bit. All this drawing is subject to change. So one of the advantages of putting this in is now we can see the lights and darks more clearly. I pushed the light there. I knew I was playing this off of that, remembering keying off my palette, so I knew how light or dark it was going to be. We put that there. It's not a shock. I knew that was going to be this light because of that. We work our way up. It do be popping. It do be. Okay. Very thin. And then soft around the head. So the head shape probably needs to change some to the hair. It's on very thin. It's good. And we're just going to watch what happens when I cover that piece up. Y'all ready? Watch this. All right. See how it is now? There's a difference. You see that? There's a difference. Now we're just going to come in here. And I waited until kind of the end to do this because I'm going to have to go in a second. But I waited in the end so, because y'all notice when I'm drawing like this, I'm using this, my pinky as a kickstand to draw from. And this way I put this on the end so I didn't get paint on myself when I was drawing. This is one value. You don't want to put like a flat background in. But it doesn't matter right now because this is just like the first layer and we're just going to build up to it. I'm just covering the grind essentially right now. But we can see the painting looks totally different. And y'all can see when you rewind back and forth, I didn't really, honestly, I know I fixed some things in the face. Still, I didn't do a lot of things I said I wanted to, but the light, I didn't change today. I just corrected drawing parts. I only put this in. That's the light I put in, and then, you know, so this is how we, this is how we develop the portrait, basic stage. Okay, here, down here, I'll just take a little bit of black, make it a little bit darker and a little bit of red. So what am I doing? I'm taking some of the yellow out. Something like that. It was so minimal, you can't even really tell. Soften this, soften, soften, soften. It's okay if I lose the drawing a little bit there, because I'll come in next time I paint and I can very easily move the black up if I want, right? Or down or wherever I want. It's easy. Just, I'm keeping this, again, this is very thin. I'm really pulling the paint and putting it on very evenly. There. Almost done. And this actually is a good shadow color for the face too. It's almost the same as that part of the nose. There you go. There you go. Solid. That's how we do it. And then normally at the end of a session, I'll come and kind of, soften certain areas like around here. I don't know how much y'all can really see with that. You can't, but we're just going to soften the edges here because I'm setting it up for the next session. It's going to be easier for me to work on it if it's a little bit softer, right? So it doesn't need to be perfect. And this way I'm not wasting my time doing unnecessary detail, right? Detail that we're going to move or whatever. You invented a new paint tool, I think. Palette knives, yes. So I have the problem, my hand touches the painting. Move it up. Thanks, Shikari. There you go. And then I'll come around here and just kind of brush this on me. I'm just softening it around the face. It doesn't matter if it's blending or not, really, honestly, within there. And then this jacket, let's go in with, let's take some black and a little bit of the ultramarine blue. Come in here and just kind of work this jacket in just a little bit here. So neck, I'm going to soften that neck piece. It kind of comes in like that. Something like that. Soften that. And everything else really doesn't matter too much. I'm going to take this, a little bit of green, just come in here, lightly put that on, darken it some. That's it. I just wanted a less red. Oh, that's it. That's it right there. Soften. And really make sure it's thin. So that's fine. It's fine. It's looking good. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is like the same background brush here, but the shoulder seems like it's going too far down on that one side. So let me bring the shoulder up just a little bit, just a little, but I'll keep it very thin. And so to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the paint and push it up into it. All right, that's what you want to do. You want to take the paint, push it up into it. There you go. Boom! Mario. Buonanotte, amico mio. Ci si vede. Saying good night. Good night. All right, Viterbo. Ninja Curry's magic on Discord. Spam the chat. We need chat spamming. You can do whatever you want, Shikari. Do that right there, and then I'm going to soften that. It's coming down, and then check this out. Take some of this background. That's where the shoulder should be, right? Something like that. And we can mess with this, but look. Well, y'all couldn't really see what I was doing there, but we're essentially going and just, you know, trying to maneuver and lightly block everything in. This is how we go about doing it. Let's take this. I'm actually just raking some of the paint. Just gonna take some of it up. Just a little bit. There you go. Something like that. That's fine. Keep it there for now. Guys, there it is. We got it. And so the cool thing about this is, now I kept this is black, right? The coat just went in straight black. And then I can start bringing some light up just a little bit here and there, so that you get that three-dimensional feel, that effect to it. But that's how you go about this. The basics in. And so this dries. Next week I come in and I'm much more able to see the values, because now we have a value range established, but it's in a manner in which it's very movable, right? I can move things, I can do whatever I need to do with them. So this is a good point to stop. Conversation about the pigments. How does Jeff have all that knowledge? Because that is he is very passionate about that. He knows all, like, those numbers and all that stuff. And PB29, ultramarine blue. PBK2 is ivory black. You learn this stuff. That's what he loves. He loves, and Natural Pigment, the oil painting company, that place he's very passionate about, because they're trying to bring, like, you know, just the base, the very pure materials back. That's what he's into. It's his gift, right? And that's a notice. I said at Jeff, I was asking him, because that's what I'm saying. Look, I know I get on here, I stream for you guys, and I have experience, but I learned so much from that Discord and from y'all. It's not even funny. Like, it's like a cheat code. It is. I was thinking to myself, because I would have had to have gone and researched this stuff, but we have Jeff, and I just asked him. And Gentian Tagging's the same way. He knows all this stuff, because, you know, they put themselves to it. Like, everybody has, you know, Sheremia, she's normally in here. She's solid in, like, you know, the digital, and she knows a bunch of knowledge, and all, like, everybody has, we have a lot of knowledge. We have a lot of very good people in our Discord right now. It's actually very, very grateful. I'll keep the stream running. Bring the phone over here. I'm going to start cleaning up. I have to go in a second to help my dad out. Then I have to be back here for a class, right? So, just mom? His mom is pretty thick. We're always making mom jokes. I haven't done it recently, but I say this needs to be thicker, like Jeff's mom's cankles or something. Like, and then it devolves pretty quickly into pretty much people insulting each other's penises. That's essentially what it boils down to most of the time. So it's an average conversation. I hate cleaning up too, QFX. Jeff the pigment wizard with the thick mom. Yes. That's a very good description of Jeff, the pigment wizard with the thick mom. Oh me. So guys, see, I've been doing this for a while, and you see how you build this stuff up, and it takes time, and you mess up a lot, and I have a lot to correct here. And some of the things I've done good, but I need to do them better. Some of the things I have probably how they should be, and I'll probably mess them up. And that's what painting is. It's just how it is. So that's why I always say you have to have strong fundamentals. we'll say, what do I do to get better? If you haven't done Bargs, do Barg drawings, like serious, and work it up Barg drawing style, like Charles Barg method. You know, do your Bargs, do the your cast drawings and all that stuff, and learn the basic fundamentals, and then slowly get into painting. You might say, oh, but I already paint. You take a year or two off and just do your drawing and see what happens. And your painting is going to improve so much because of it. But it gives you that foundation and the confidence, right, to be able to work a painting back and forth, to be able to get out of tough spots and to correct things, and to, that's what you need. Thick was it? I think today thick might be a compliment. I don't know what's going on. I've been asking about that because apparently, I don't know, people's taste. It's like, yes, thick women now. But then I think QFX was saying, no, thin is back now. But QFX likes thin. I like thin. He might like very thin. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This stops me from wanting to start even. Wait a second, QFX. I hate clean. Oh, the cleaning, yeah. Just never clean your art studio like Francis Bacon. Can't skip cleaning the brushes, though. When are you going to have a live model, preferably a bikini model? Well, I have a live model coming in tonight. It's a dude, though. So, which is unfortunate. Just kidding. We're always like the hot chicks. So, I don't know. And YouTube, as lenient as they are, might not like if I like, I don't know. If I got a bikini model in here, I could probably do that. It's not a bad idea. Do something. All right. Got some good work done today. So I started streaming. When did I start streaming? Probably 2 hours ago or something. But I was sitting around for probably an hour and a half, psyching myself up to do this and organizing my thoughts with it. So it was just one of those days where I was like, okay, if you're going to do this, you got to think about it first. Not the first sausage you drew. You got to draw everything, man, if you're going to be well-rounded. Pervert. You pave. I heard there's been plenty of those. The word on the street, QFX. Curses YouTube and bikini model policy folding. I think you can. I think bikini models are fine. I mean, if Twitch is okay with them, which they are. What I should have been doing is a hot tub stream chick. Oh, me. Which would have been way more sexual than what I was doing, and it would have been okay. Twitch reasoning. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I've never drawn a sausage, but I have drawn muffins. You should tell Curry the black dude model story. Oh, I forgot I told you all this. Okay. Well, there's 9 people, which is... So I'm just saying, if anybody doesn't want to be scandalized, or if there's a young kid, just heads up. Just tell a story. All right, you might want to leave if you don't want to be scandalized. This isn't that... Well, no, it is kind of bad. So what happened was, there was this guy, this like African about this tall. And his dick was this big. Like just huge. And it was going down like almost past his knees. And he had an erection. I didn't know what to do. I was running the class. like an idiot, I set him up facing us. I should have done a pose going away. He was hitting on the women in the middle of class. It was a mess. We didn't have him back. Made everybody uncomfortable. It was the night that I had to do a demonstration. So normally you block the crotchal region in just like a basic triangle. The triangle was going all the way down to the knees. It was the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen. The guy was like this tall. So that's the story. It was dumb. We didn't have him back. And then my friends were like, why didn't you send him up facing the opposite direction? I said, I didn't even think about that. I said, I should have. I said, I didn't know what to do. I was, I think, 22 at the time. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Yeah, so that's the story. Thanks, QFX. Drawing bony, skinny people is great to learn skeletal structure. Yeah, it was. I mean, look, there were worse things, but he was making the women uncomfortable and stuff. And like he was definitely, he had to have been on. I try not to think about it, but it's not normal to have an erection for like, I mean, is it for like 2 hours straight? I think shortly after that, the sculpture department had the same model in, and Robert Bodum walked in and walked out and said, I am not, he's like, I'm not even going to critique that. He was the head of the sculpture, and he walked in and walked right back out. He says, I'm not dealing with this. They didn't have him back. So, a medical miracle. Bro took some pills. He might have. Now, this was back around, I think it was probably 2002 or 3 or something, somewhere around there. So it was some time ago. I should have said, I don't know what I wasn't thinking. I'm the type of person, I have to learn every single lesson by doing it. Like, it's so frustrating. And that's common sense, man. Just face them the opposite way. Everybody was like, could you do a live demonstration for us before? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then that's the one night. Every other night would have been fine. Any other night would have been fine. Demonstration. It's crazy. Actually, I need to clean that a little bit more. He came in with a plan. He might have come in with a plan. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, aside from that, he was a nice guy, but I mean, just whatever. Yeah, guys, I know what you mean. I am sick of cleaning brushes. Tired of it. It's too much. Would be funny if today's model was that dude. He chugs some extra pill. It wouldn't be funny. It would be funny. It would be funny, but I really hope that doesn't happen. I'm desperate for a good model. I told you I went on Craigslist. I don't know if y'all have Craigslist. I don't think y'all have it in Europe. Do you? Do y'all know what Craigslist is? Well, here it's essentially like an ad site. You can advertise for class or whatever, for services given, or you're looking for services or whatever. And so you can find some interesting people there. So the way that I looked at it, I said, okay, I'm going to get about 5 or 6 models, hopefully. but I'll be happy if I get one good one. And sure enough, last week the person dropped, and I could not get in touch with them all week and couldn't find a replacement, so I crossed that guy out. The guy that's modeling this week, he seems pretty good. He's constantly like texting, like he's very you know, he's on point with responding, which is good. So might have a good model. We'll see. So I'll be happy if we have a good. But if that happens, man, I'm gonna be because it is rough. Like I have to teach that class, but I also have to find the models, and that is it's annoying. I want to draw them, yeah. But I had people sending me like, or not, they didn't send me, but offering to send like nude photos of themselves and this and that, and I said no, it's fine, and I don't need that because I don't need it. I feel creepy first off, and secondly, it's why would I need them? It's for a class, and I understand them offering it. It's a nice gesture, but also I'm thinking I would not be sending naked photos of myself to a stranger. That's what I'm thinking. So, once those things are out, man, I could be anybody. I could put that on the internet. I could do whatever I want, and then it's weird. Guys, that is it. All right, so reliable is important. Reliable is extremely important. Extremely important. It's great if they're a good model in addition, like they have a nice physique and stuff, but reliable, that means you're not spinning your wheels wondering if they're going to show up at the last minute. They're saying, oh yeah, I'm going to show up, and then they don't, and then you have to cancel your class. And because I have Terry drives an hour to get here, which means I need to let him know by 3 o'clock, and it's 5:10 right now, if there's going to be a model or not. So, yeah. Another season doesn't sound very. It's not comfortable holding the same for 2 hours, but we give breaks and stuff. It's not that bad. New way to get reference photos. Guys, y'all are awesome. I'm taking off. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll pick it back up next week. We still got a lot of work to do on this portrait. But yeah, this is a good stopping point. Y'all have a nice weekend, all right? Y'all take care. I'll see ya. Oh, Moody. You'll see him next week.